Today I'm going to show you how to identify points of view in certain texts. The definition of point of view is a manner in which a story is narrated or depicted and who is telling that story. Simply put, point of view allows the reader to hear and see what is going on in the story. There are several different points of view that I'm going to show you in this PowerPoint, and this year we're going to be analyzing and writing using 3 different techniques. The first person point of view is a character telling the story. So someone is telling you his or her story. Pronouns that they use are I, me, and we. And an example is I always look forward to my summer vacation. I like to collect seashells and swim with my brother. So it's that person telling you what they like to do at the beach during their summer vacation. Third person point of view is going to be someone else telling the story. Simply put, the narrator is on the outside looking in at the events happening in the story. Pronouns they're going to be using and you're going to be looking for are he, she, they. And in the examples from Harry Potter, the Dursleys hadn't even remembered that today happened to be Harry's 12th birthday. Of course, his hopes hadn't been high. They'd never given him a real present, let alone cake. But to ignore it completely, so that example shows you someone else telling what is happening to Harry Potter. That is third person point of view. There are 2 different third person points of view, omniscient and limited. Omniscient narrator or point of view, there's no bias or preference, and they have all the knowledge of all the characters and everything going on. So an omniscient third person point of view, you're going to get the whole story from different characters' perspective. Limited third person point of view is only what's going on inside the heart and mind of one person. So the perspective is limited. It's like looking at a whole story through a plastic straw. You only get that little piece of it, where if you had the omniscient point of view, you get the whole story. Those are the 2 different third person points of view that we're going to be looking at, reading, and analyzing this year. So what I'd like for you to do now is practice using this short paragraph from one of my favorite stories, Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. Take 2 seconds to read the paragraph and answer the questions that follow. Now, think of this. What did you think of the narrator from the previous passage? So, if you were reading it, you know that it's first person point of view because they're using pronouns such as I. Okay, so it's told from that person's point of view, first person point of view. But think about this, right? If that person, that narrator, walked into your emergency room and you were the doctor, claiming that he could hear things and see things from heaven and hell, and he has a disease that sharpened his senses, what would you say? What would you do? So now, instead of taking on the point of view of the narrator, you're going to take on the point of view of the doctor. So when I'm reading that paragraph and I'm reading that passage, a couple of things stand out to me, right? If I was a doctor, the first thing that would stand out to me is that this disease, whatever he's got, has sharpened his senses, not destroyed them and not dulled them, but made them sharper and more acute to his surroundings. So that's the first thing that's going to stand out to me, because now I'm thinking to myself as a doctor, all right, well, what disease is going to cause someone to have their senses, smell, see, sight, hear, all those things sharpen and more acute? Another thing that's going to stand out to me is now the narrator is telling me, and this person, if I'm a doctor, sitting in front of me, is telling me things about what he's heard in heaven and hell. And then the last thing that's going to stand out to me is how calmly he can tell me the whole story. Because if you look right up here, right, he doesn't start out calm. Those are capital letters. Those are points. So you know he's excited. Something's going on with this narrator. So we know that something quite isn't right with this man. So we're only getting his point of view. Now, put yourself in the doctor's perspective, and what would the doctor think, or what would the doctor say if this man walked into the ER? Point of view can also be defined as a particular attitude or way of preserving an issue, which we're going to get into later. So, what I have for you now is a passage from the short story Flowers for Algernon that we're going to be reading this quarter. Now, with the digital notebooks that you're going to be completing, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of either Ms. Kinnian, Professor Niemer, or Dr. Strauss. And think about the changes that they are seeing in Charlie. So after reading this short passage right here, what would one of those three individuals think of, feel about the changes that are happening in Charlie with this surgery that he received?